Michigan football is about to get exactly what they need. Let's talk about it. My name is Paul. Together with my buddy Aaron, we are the Big Ten guys. Tune in every day for the latest news, insights, analysis. If you're a fan of Michigan or any Big Ten team, this is the channel for you, so don't miss out. Take just a quick sec, hit the subscribe button and the like button. Got a lot more Michigan and Big Ten content coming. Michigan fans, before we get going, I want to hear from you in the comments. Tell me your thoughts on the Oklahoma game, however bad they may be. Your thoughts on Bryce Underwood, Sharon Moore, the defense. This is a safe space. Air your grievances. I'm about to air some of my grievances. And we're going to have a real talk today about the state of the Michigan football program. Like I said, we're the Big Ten guys, so we talk all things Big Ten. But Aaron is a Michigan State fan, and I'm a Michigan fan, so I feel very personally about what I'm about to say here. So here's what I think Michigan needs right now as a program, and they got it. They need some time without Sharon Moore to see what this team looks like. Don't get me wrong, I'm not ready to tell you fire Sharon Moore. Like, we don't need to give up on him. And I'm in the camp. When Harbaugh retired, I wanted Sharon Moore to get the job. I thought he earned it. I love the guy. You can see he coaches with passion. So, I don't want to sit here and rake him over the coals for the next 8 to 10 minutes. He is a good guy. He knows football. He's done a great job recruiting. You can just see the players love him. He coaches with passion and energy. He does a lot of great things. So I'm not going to, take that for what you will. But I think we need to have a serious talk about his in-game coaching. And I think this 2-game suspension he is about to have could be really telling for what the Michigan program would look like with a different person calling plays. Now, apparently, he will get to be in practice all week leading up to the Central Michigan game. I think that's good. There were a lot of issues on the offensive line. He's an offensive line guy. But then once that game starts, he's gone till after the Nebraska game. Can't even be involved for the prep for Nebraska. And I'm excited to see what this team looks like. I just feel like Sharon Moore coaches scared. He coaches to protect his players rather than coaching to put his players in a position to succeed. And you saw that big time against Oklahoma, but the more I think about games in the past, I think he's always been like that. I'll never forget when Harbaugh was suspended for that Penn State game, thinking after the game, when Michigan was super conservative and just running it, that they were maybe trying to send a message hey, we're going to run it every play, you're going to know our play, and we're still going to win because we're that good. I thought maybe they were trying to send that message, but now looking back at the game, I almost think that's just how Sharon Moore is, and that team was so good on the offensive line and running the football that they were capable of it. But looking back on that game, J.J. McCarthy, top 10 or top 12 pick, J.J. McCarthy, who national champion, was one of the best quarterbacks, maybe the best quarterback in Michigan history. He only trusted him to throw 8 passes in that game without a single registered pass attempt in the second half. I think they passed it once, and there was a pass interference, so the pass didn't stand. So not a single registered pass attempt in the entire second half. And this is with a veteran quarterback who was on his way towards a national championship. I think he's afraid to make the big mistake. He wants to play conservative, and I get that. And especially with a freshman QB, you want to protect him. You want to make sure you're not asking too much of him. But this is Bryce Underwood. This isn't Alex Orji. This isn't Davis Warren. This isn't Jack Tuttle. This is the most talented quarterback to ever put on a Michigan uniform. He's got just a rocket for an arm. He's mobile. He's huge. Is he going to make mistakes? Yeah, of course he is, but let him. He's not going to develop if you don't give him that chance. And frankly, if I'm Bryce Underwood and the offense looks like that every game for the rest of the season, I am gone. Somebody else will throw a bag at me. I'm going to get my money. I wouldn't want to play in that offense. And I'm going to say maybe the most insulting thing I could possibly say about this game this past Saturday. I am a lifelong Bears fan, and I felt like I was watching a Bears game. Like, it was that bad. Like, I've seen that play before. Like, I've seen that game 100 times where it's like you're afraid to give your quarterback a chance, so you run it on first, you run it on second. Your only passes are screen passes, and the defense can just creep up and pin their ears back and run at your receivers and run at your quarterback. And you're putting them, like, his goal is to keep Bryce Underwood out of harm's way, but the result is you're putting him in harm's way because the defense knows there's no threat of getting beat over the top. And the only time Bryce Underwood was actually allowed to drop back and pass was when every single person in the stadium knew that he was going to drop back and pass. Like, I can't think of even a time, maybe there was once or twice, they let him throw downfield on first down. I mean, I'm sure they did at the end of the game, but like first 3 quarters, I don't remember seeing that. It was run, screen, run, screen. Maybe run, screen, run. Maybe run, screen, then it's 3rd and 15, so then you have to let him throw downfield. But like, they were not giving him an opportunity to make a play. And it just made me sick. Like I said, I felt like I was watching a Bears game. It's bad enough I have to deal with that on Sundays and sometimes Mondays. Now apparently I have to deal with that on Saturdays. And as a Michigan fan, I'm sick of it. And I'm excited to see what 2 weeks with somebody else calling the plays looks like. And I think the most insulting thing from Sharon Moore is he was asked what the identity of the Michigan offense was. And first part doesn't surprise me. We're going to be violent, we're going to be physical, we're going to be explosive, we're going to create explosive runs. That's obviously his goal, is to run. But then he says we want to create more explosive passes. And it's just like, when was that? Like, I haven't seen that. I haven't even seen them attempt to do that. And then the worst part is, and let the players just trust themselves and let it loose and have fun. Like, I saw no letting Bryce Underwood loose. Didn't look like anyone on the sidelines was having fun. The only fun play was Justice Haynes' 75-yard touchdown. Other than that, it was ugly. So Michigan fans, let me know your opinion. Do you agree with me? Am I being too harsh on Sharon Moore? Am I being too lenient to say let's see how things look the rest of the year? Like, do you want him gone? I'm sure there's some people in that camp, and if it looks like this the rest of the year, I'm in that camp. This was way too conservative, and he will ruin Bryce Underwood if the offense looks like this week in and week out. Because Oklahoma's a solid team. And a good defense, aggressive defense. Brent Venables knows what he's doing. That probably was the best quarterback Michigan's going to play all year. So I'm really not worried about the defense. But I think Penn State, Oregon, Ohio State, anyone they play in the playoffs is going to have that caliber of defense. And I hate to see what they're going to be able to do to Michigan if that's what our offense looks like. So, I mean, looking ahead, they got one game to figure it out. Central's going to be a win. I'm excited to see what the play calling looks like in that. I hope they're more aggressive with Bryce. And then it's at Nebraska, and that's a tough game. Aaron and I have been pounding the table for Nebraska for months that they are going to be at least an 8 or 9 win team and good enough to be a 10 or 11 win team especially if they win this game against Michigan is one of their biggest games of the year. That is a tough game, and if you just run it up the gut 75 times, I don't like our chances. And I do think their defensive line is probably one of their weaknesses, so you're probably going to be able to get away with running it a little bit more in that game, but they got to trust Bryce. They got to give him a chance to make plays, or it's going to be another long season. I think we all saw in week 1, this is a different quarterback. This isn't Orgy. This isn't Warren. This isn't Tuttle. But we just watched the exact same offense we saw last year, protecting those guys, not giving them a chance to make a play, not letting them make a mistake. And like Sharon Moore said this week, let it loose. Play, have fun. Let it loose. Take chances. That's what I want to see. That's what he says. That's not what they're doing. That's what he's saying. But I want to actually see it. And I think a week or two without Sharon Moore calling plays could be a good thing for this Michigan team, and I'm curious to see if things look different, or, maybe Bryce really isn't ready and the other coaches see that and they're going to have him playing in handcuffs too. But truthfully, I don't think that's the case. So hopefully they let him cut it loose without Sharon, and Sharon sees what this offense is capable of and things look different. I mean, not a single ranked team until Ohio State right now. So if they can beat Nebraska, playoffs are still on the table. Everything's on the table this season. So they got to figure it out. But if they look like that, they're losing this game to Nebraska. They're losing to USC. They're losing to Ohio State. Maybe Michigan State. I mean, I hate to give them credit, but they've looked pretty decent. But you got to figure it out if you're Sharon Moore. Can't look like that anymore. Michigan fans, give me your thoughts, and then subscribe and like on the way out. We'll catch you with some more Michigan and Big Ten content next time.